Start the VOD. Should be done.
It's fun doing production, isn't it?
It's difficult. You need to focus a lot, but it's worth it in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so here we are.
Map number 2.
Doing the introduction? Yeah.
Would you like to do the introductions?
I would love to. So here we are, guys, jumping into game number 2 of the best of 3 between these two players. One and then down at the bottom left, playing as the Orange Protoss. Losing game number 1, it is HuK playing for Evil Geniuses, and his opponent playing all the way at the top right, winning game number 1. Looking to close this out with a solid 2-0. It is none other than Ace's INnoVation, and he will be the Blue Terran.
Did you see that INnoVation rallied his command center to his natural,
yes,
like super early,
yes,
by mistake maybe? You need to be careful. Sometimes you turn on autopilot, like you forget one step or two, then in StarCraft 2 that means like a big supply block or something like that, and usually it's a huge mistake. Like for example, forgetting your core as Protoss is like insta-lose at this level.
He's desperate to get that command center. He's like, just let me build it before the depot, like a 6 command center, but yeah, the depot does go down, and it looks like he wants to go for a command center again, and yep. This is fine. On a 4-player map, you're always going to scout your opponent later, so you're always more justified in playing greedier, because of course it takes them longer to scout. The longer it takes to scout, the longer to punish, and that normally means that sometimes the risks have paid off by then. So, you know, it's a good decision, and this one has a very easy pocket expansion to take and defend. So,
and gateway on 12 again by HuK, and then double gas. Seems like he has his one build that he likes to stick to, which I completely misread last game. Well, I guess not completely, because I thought he was gonna do some aggression, and he did, but the way he did it was, I guess, a little bit surprising, and the follow-up too.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's the command center on the low ground as well on this map, but I'm going to say that's the better decision than putting it on the high ground to make sure that it's walled off or something. And he will go. Will he go for the 2-axe? He should. And of course, they always go for the 2-axe just to make sure they have that production to stay alive against any type of early pressure. But yeah, I would love to. Well, HuK hasn't scouted yet, so I doubt he's going to go for anything like hyper aggressive. But he can still. Well, he's not even building this lot, so it looks like he. Like, I think this could be a blink build maybe, or a bit of hyper aggression into an expansion.
I think it's HuK playing, man. Whatever you try to predict is going to be wrong. I think he's going to go for a Nexus, man, and then probably into a Robo standard.
You could. He's going to build up those resources. The side was about to finish up, and this will reveal if he goes for any tech. I think you could be right.
Stalker is being chrono boosted out, and warp gates being made as well. Yeah, I do think he's going to go for a Nexus. What is going to be the follow-ups? That's the question.
He's rallying the probe from the Nexus. So there's that. There's the mothership core, and that's where the gas will be going. And
if
yeah,
this was
if
this was a Korean Protoss, I would definitely say a Forge and a Robo would follow this up. But with HuK, you know, make a prediction, Pewee. What do you think?
I would still like to see a Twilight. Yeah, Twilight. Come on, give me a Twilight. Or a 3rd expansion, 3 command and 3 Nexus for tech, definitely. Like, we should just guess the most absurd stuff, so that way we have a higher chance of being more correct.
I think just a Robo soon.
Ooh. Look at INnoVation's wall. Ooh, that's really cool. He's scared of maybe a bit of Zealot pressure again, like the last game.
Yeah.
There's the Forge and a Sentry in production. Is he going to go for that Robo? No.
Yeah,
no,
Forge. Just a single Forge. This could still mean anything. Let's see if it throws down a Robo or a Twilight.
He's waiting for it. I think he's about to go for it. There it is. So Forge Robo, exactly what you were anticipating, and he should go for the armor upgrades and maybe for Colossus. Do you think?
With HuK, I wouldn't be surprised again if we see some kind of aggression earlier than Colossus, like with some Immortals to be safe, and maybe a Warp Prism, just basically the way he played the last game. But I do not think that on this map he is gonna try the same kind of Warp Prism thing that he tried in the previous game. Even though, if you drop in the natural, you could use some force fields on this big ramp and then lock the Terran into his main. But yeah, that will take a lot of force fields.
Yeah, definitely.
Or even better, you wait until the Terran leaves his main, and then you drop up his ramp and then force field it and lock him out.
Oh yes. Now you could just drop some Zealots into the back of the base here. It's a little bit harder to get there because, of course, normally like the last map, you rally towards your natural, and then your natural's defended. But on this map, it's a little bit out the way. So a couple of Zealots, even if he dropped Zealots as he moved out, just to bring him back or distract him by himself time, the Observer is in production. He is actually going for the +1 attack, which like normally, like recently, it was like +1 armor when you go charge, but now +1 armor seems just in general what you go to. But actually, the attack upgrade, which I like. I do like that.
I remember a long time ago, MC once said that bad Protoss players get armor upgrades because it's easier to play. And good Protoss upgrades, they get attack upgrade because they have great force fields. They are gonna force field stuff and kill it very fast. Then again, MC yesterday versus Bomber, he made level 3 armor upgrade before getting the +1 attack. So times change.
Yeah, definitely. MC eating his own words there. The Twilight does finish up, and I want to see the splash. There's the War Prism, so he is going to go for that, and he does have 2 sentries already, which the back ramp at the natural is a little bit bigger. It takes 2 force fields, so he could go for that. Well, it's going to be very interesting. Then 3rd command center now finishing up and being morphed into an orbital, and there's the starport being added on as the factory starts the reactor. And he is going for Blink, so Blink Colossus maybe? I like Blink Colossus.
Yeah, it will be... this is the map where it's good for it, I would say. Defending drops is going to be very, very hard without Blink here. Lots of space to move around. You can go from the 3rd base to the main with Medivacs very quickly, much faster than the Protoss will. So if you don't have Blink, you're going to be in a ton of trouble. And one cannon goes down in natural of HuK here. Wants to play it safe. He knows that at about the 9th minute some drops might start if INnoVation had rush for Medivacs. So actually, he got the 3rd command center before, but he's still very, very quick on those Medivacs. That build from INnoVation is super solid here.
Yeah, and he's double upgrading as well. He's got 2 A-base, so his 1-1 is in production. The +2, about 45 seconds into production for HuK, so a little bit of an upgrade advantage. But that will slowly disappear as, of course, INnoVation double upgrades. There's nothing in the War Prism as it flies towards the natural.
Yeah, I feel like, look, HuK is getting +2 attack upgrade. I feel like he wants to build up a good stalker count to defend against drop, and he's hoping that INnoVation will move out and start dropping a lot. In which case, HuK blinks in there, snipes the Medivac with the units inside, and then he warps in Zealots and drop him in the bases of INnoVation and just basically wreck his economy. That's his dream scenario, but his INnoVation gonna fall for it.
Yeah, there's the first 2 Medivacs getting picked up. Did HuK pay attention to that?
Yeah, definitely. He had an observer there. He should know.
Yeah, he should have spotted it, and actually he should have, because the War Prism is flying towards the main the natural, and the units are rallying out outside. Fast reactions from INnoVation though, but there's only like 5 units, so there's not really that much here to deal with these. And HuK can just be aggressive here, dropping into the 3rd now as well. I like it.
Yeah, INnoVation is gonna do just that as well. And it's funny because I just talked about Medivacs going very quickly from the 3rd base to the natural, and that's what HuK's doing now with the War Prism as well.
Yeah, he leaves 1 in the 3rd base. The Medivacs are getting closer and closer. There are 3 Stalkers in the natural, and Mothership Core's very close for a Photon Overcharge as well, so that's some extra DPS. And actually not that much damage will get dealt. He will pick off the Stalkers and the ones that will get whooped in.
Yeah, a whole bunch of probes are dying here. HuK should have pulled this back. I think if he would have pulled his probes back, warped in a little bit more Zealot and lost less Stalkers, this would have been a good trade. But now I don't think it was that good, because look, 45 probes to 62 SCVs. Imagine INnoVation. That plus mules, how much more he's gonna mine than his opponents, and the huge army is gonna get very, very soon. He scans now the main of his opponent. He wants to see the tech. Is it Templars? Is it Colossus? He sees that it's Colossus, so he's gonna be able to be completely ready for this. He starts a 2nd starport immediately, and INnoVation's playing so well already.
Yeah, he's just not faulting, is he? No mistakes being made. 4 workers were killed by the harassment by HuK. The War Prism still stays alive, and there is some Vikings trying to hunt it down, but it's a bit far away to get spotted just yet. Now, the +3 has started for HuK, and it's going to be 2 upgrades v 2 upgrades, but of course, once the 2-2 finishes for the Terran, that's when it's going to start to get very scary for HuK, because he's just, he's not going to have the damage output or the damage reduction to kind of have an even fight.
Yeah, lots of barracks being added here by INnoVation. His production, man, it's gonna be very, very sick really soon here. And when I say soon, I mean now. He's gonna start producing so much units. It's gonna be hard for HuK to hold this if he doesn't get Templars very quickly, because Colossus should be countered nicely by Vikings. But actually, INnoVation, he doesn't have many Vikings out just yet. He has only 2 out right now. So by the time he builds up his Viking count, HuK could have reached some Archons or some Templars, in which case, if you don't have Ghost, it's going to be very hard for you to deal with this as a Terran.
Absolutely. The 3rd base has been saturated now for HuK and Guys' be mine. No 4th command center for Inno, but he had a very fast 3rd, so he's going to be okay for the moment. The War Prism does fly by those Vikings. Does it have War Prism speed? I think it does.
No, it doesn't.
If it doesn't, no, they're just so much faster now. And yeah, bombs in here, drops the Zealots. The Vikings turn around, and there is a bit of an engagement at the front, so a bit of multitasking going on from these two players. But an extra 4 workers did get picked off there.
Yeah, and this is nicely done here by HuK. He's caught up on the walker count. He's 1 walker behind right now. He might be able to kill even more. No, he does not target. And I liked that he poked at the front with his stalkers at the same time, by the way. This was really a cool move. And the Warprism is barely getting away. I mean, I kind of miss that. He's completely outrunning those Vikings.
Oh, but INnoVation, very smart there. Runs down into that expansion with his Marines.
Oh, some Medivacs might be caught out of position. Oh no, the Vikings! HuK was there with his stalkers. Gonna damage one of those quite heavily.
And nearly loses the Stalker in return for that, but of course Stalker will regenerate some of his health. This Viking only has 6. Now the supplies are quite different right now. It's it's like 52 army supply difference between them right now, and INnoVation's moving across the map to start the aggression, and with his production he can near enough just rally across the map, and this might never stop.
Yeah, the upgrades 2-2 for INnoVation, 3-0. Well, 3 attacks upgrade for HuK here, and yeah, INnoVation, he knows that that's his timing. That's when he has more supply. He's gonna scan ahead. He sees exactly the army of HuK right now. He's gonna have to decide if he has enough now. I do think he has enough to engage and try to trade well, at least.
Yeah, the planetary nexus providing a solid anchor point here for HuK, which means INnoVation has to he has to be certain before he pretty much engages, just to make certain. And that is actually a lot of Vikings. We're up to 12 now, and like the Colossus dealing some damage. The Vikings run forward. There's a blink. Oh,
nice micro from HuK. He baited the shots from those Vikings, and then as soon as they got in there, he blinked with the stalkers, starting to kill some of them, forced INnoVation back, and then sent his actual army in. HuK has dealt with this so nicely, just with some good jukes.
Yeah, absolutely, and that time warp as well during that, nice micro. And this is going to be a very big drop, though. Incoming, what's that, 5 medevacs? It was 6. No, 6 medevacs worth of units flying around. There is no observer that will spot them, and that cannon is still here, but HuK is anticipating this and starts to warp in some Zealots, and Charge did just finish up.
Yeah, there might be too much, though. There is a lot of bioforces being dropped there, but the Colossus is on point. It's ready, it's going to get back in there and try and get rid of those units. The Vikings take it out immediately. But lots of units here, enough for HuK to defend this supposedly is there, but these units are poorly placed. The stalkers, some of these stalkers will get taken out by these forces if INnoVation micros. Actually, I think if INnoVation had landed the Vikings here, he might have dealt with this even better. He did not dare picking up his units because he knew there was a whole bunch of stalkers. He actually killed most of the stalkers. He lands the Vikings, but very, very late. INnoVation doing a ton of damage right now. But in the meantime, on the other side of the map, HuK has sent a ton of Zealots to kill and wreck the 3rd base off his opponent. Those have some very nice upgrades. 3 in 1 round now. Yeah,
5 Archons are morphing in at the 5th base of INnoVation right now, so there's going to be a lot of extra DPS. The Colossus, 3 of them are moving up now. The Natural is actually being taken out here. Probes are coming to fight, and another Colossus does finish up and starts to kill the Vikings on the ground, but they lift off and will get their revenge.
It's unbelievable. HuK is actually base trading against this attack of INnoVation. He moved across the map with 3 Colossus. I've never seen anything like this, and he's doing a ton of damage now. He's gonna be able to take out the orbital command, and behind this he should be able to engage and win the fight, but he's being very patient. He's added some stalkers to his composition to make sure he can take out those Vikings, which he knows are flying back home right now. He should know about that 4th base, by the way, and go and take it out as soon as possible, because HuK right now, he's lost his natural. He's not mining much anymore. 55 probes to 61 SCVs, but INnoVation is saturated on 3 bases. He could retake his natural very easily by flying his main there when he's mined out, and HuK just remakes the Nexus and moves back for the moment.
Yeah, a lot of things happening right now. We do have Storm in production finally, so the splash damage is getting scarier for HuK. Of course, Colossus with Storm is a lot of damage to take that, and he should have. Yeah, okay, now he does see the 4th base. He should have known it was there anyway, but maybe because there was a command center in production, he thought maybe INnoVation was all in or something, or he wasn't looking to expand. He was just going to ramp up the aggression with production. But HuK is moving up, and yeah, there's 11 Vikings and a lot of medevacs, but the Vikings are very, very hurt, so the Colossus will be able to deal a lot of damage before they get picked off. Oh, a couple of stalkers there run into the suicide. Zealots trying to go for a gas guy, which probably isn't the most cost efficient trade there for them.
And in the meantime, HuK is getting stormy. INnoVation is gonna have to be careful. HuK, I wasn't sure about his choice not to attack here, but now I think I like it, because there are no ghosts underway, I think. There is not a single ghost out on the map. INnoVation has the Ghost Academy, but it's already maxed out, and HuK, he has Storm on the way. He's retaken his natural. He could take a force base now. And with Storm in his composition, he's going to do a lot better. He wasn't maxed out yet. So it's good for him that he waited. Now he can max out while INnoVation is moving in position to attack him. And I do think that HuK should be able to win the big fight here against no Ghost, because he has a ton of Archons, he has some Storms almost ready. Should be careful not to engage before. He has 2 Storms ready, he's gonna have 4 in a second. And he goes for the engagement.
Here it goes, the Vikings are taking out the Colossus. They're getting picked off so fast, but the units of INnoVation are forced to run away from those Storms, trying to dodge them, but they are taken. Oh, that was a very good Storm, melting a lot of the bio. Wow, the army's getting cleaned up so fast. There's a lot still alive. The Archon's chasing them down. The Stalkers can start blinking and picking up those medevacs, and INnoVation's fighting here in the center, and all that's left is a little bit of bio and a single Viking, which will die in just a second's time. And
yeah, the armies of both players disappear very rapidly here, but INnoVations is gonna get chased down, and HuK is now warping in units across the map. He's ready to finish this game. He thinks he has enough of an advantage to finish it. 67 army supply, 79 now. He's warping in a ton of units right next to that natural of INnoVation. He's going to move in there. He's actually going for the force base at the same time. HuK attacking a little bit everywhere. He has to be careful. The Zealots, they're just going to die and not do much. Oh, he ends up leaving 2 Archons on the force base. Oh, he has a great advantage, but he could throw away the game if he's not careful.
Engagement here. He's going for the main army and trying to end that. Where the High Templars come from behind. There's 6 of them in total. Looks like he's saving the energy for those Storms. The bio is forced to run up into the main base, and HuK can't fight that as it is a quiet choke, and of course Zealots will not fight very well there. And the last Archon does get...
Wow, and HuK, he didn't regroup well enough to maybe finish this game. I think even getting a single sentry and force filling the ramp here would have been good with the entire army that he had. Instead of that, he kind of split up. He attacked with some Zealots that died, just barely getting... an SCV building that command center. He's going for it again. He should be able to get the snipe on that orbital command. INnoVation moving down the ramp, but he's very hesitant. He sees the huge army of his opponent. Lots of Storms ready.
Oh, they're getting the Storms that they need. The bio's trapped between the gas guys around the ramp. A lot of damage being dealt to High Templars. Not getting picked off. A lot of Storms getting dropped there. The medevacs are flying across the map to maybe do some damage, but at the moment, like, he can't... he's forced into his main base. He can't really come down the ramp because he doesn't have the units to fight this army. And of course, you know, the choke, if the units run down the ramp, you get a good Storm. That could be like near enough game over for the bio. And this double medevac drop should actually force maybe a cancel, depending on how many warpins.
And great Storms here. First one hits most of this army, second one as well. An Archon is going to be morphed behind this. HuK is on full chasing mode. He baited INnoVation into thinking he was going to attack this base full on the right hand side, but that was not the case. He just wanted him to come down the ramp. He did, and INnoVation has lost a lot of units. He still has a supply lead, and as you said, he's trying to get a cancel on that left hand side base. He gets a snipe on the pylon, but not before the Zealots complete. And INnoVation started stepping nicely.
He's getting targeted down. A massive Zealot warping does get dropped just before the pylon gets picked off. Your mic is really quiet or something, Todd. It's hard to hear you, but the main ramp is getting pushed. The production is going to start to get camped. There's a lot of units here. The Archons, a High Templar runs forward, gets picked off, and he blinks on top of the Marauders to guarantee that damage. All that's left are the medevacs, and they get targeted down very, very quickly. And the supplies are so even, but you know, HuK is here dealing that damage, and INnoVation's having a very hard time fighting past this right now.
Yeah, he's pulling some SCVs. HuK's going to pull back for now. He has a bunch of Zealots that he had warped behind this. Actually, this natural is going to get attacked here of HuK. He has 1 Colossus to help and defend, which is not enough. He needs some Zealots and some Stalkers in support. HuK's pulling back now. And INnoVation is flying one of his additional orbital commands to his natural.
Oh, he kind of accidentally commands the Colossus. That takes a lot of damage. Feedback onto the medevac, stops the repair. And there's the blink. Picks up 1 medevac, the full medevac, and 1 Marauder is all that remains. And yeah, that was a lot of engagements going on there. So right now, INnoVation's kind of stabilizing. He's resaturating his natural with workers from that fourth base, which... I guess it has been slowly mined right now. More warpins for HuK, and his units are moving back across the map, so it looks like he might go for the kill move here. Yeah,
and finally, HuK has a supply lead. I think this is almost, I would say, the first legit time that this happened in this game, when he has a decent lead with it. And he actually restarts a force base, so he's not going to commit completely to this attack he wants to go for. He's going to start warping in some Zealots next to those units here. HuK has to be careful. The Archon here are going to be targeted. No, INnoVation has to retreat. The thing is, INnoVation has been fighting against Archons and Templars without Ghosts. That's his problem. The whole time it's been like this.
Yeah, this is something about the Koreans in it. Like Maru's kind of the same as well. And you know, the supplies are pretty even right now. The workers are identical, so it all comes down to the army supply difference. And there's really not much between it. We have proxy pylons, so HuK can warp in closer to the fight. And we do have a couple of high tempos with some storms available. 2 storms.
HuK gonna get a snipe on one of those medivacs, but not before losing one of his precious stalkers. And yeah, INnoVation is just setting up a great concave here to try and fight this. He knows that he does not have Ghost. He knows that he cannot afford Ghost right now. His income is no good.
Yeah, he has no Vikings and isn't producing them either, so the Colossus have no answer. And here it comes, storms coming from one side. A lot of the bio isn't actually fighting, but the concave is so good. And there's a lot of units forward here for HuK. They're running forward, pushing them in towards the corner, towards that planetary, a solid anchor point. But there's still so much, and HuK decides not to run down to that planetary and have a bad engagement, which is a good decision because you can dedicate an entire army to kill that and it might not die.
Oh, INnoVation finally realized that his observer that was already over here has been very important in gaining position advantage from HuK and good engagement. He goes for the flank from many sides. He tries to get a snipe on the Colossus, but HuK micros nicely. One of those die, but I think HuK might have just a little too much here for INnoVation to handle. INnoVation was 3-3 by the way for a while. HuK just 3-1, but Archons and Templars against no Ghost is going to be too much. He's going to prove to be too much again in this game.
Well, it wasn't even that. There was no Vikings either, so the Colossus...
Yeah.
He had no answer for the Colossus. So Storms and Colossus against pure bio, like, you have to micro like a god against that to not lose.
You have to be INnoVation. No, wait. Yeah. Not even.
No, wait. INnoVation from a few months ago, at least. And I love the way that INnoVation's not giving up yet. He's relocating command centers and stuff like that. He's mined out a lot of the bases, and he is relocating his natural. But he's going to see these pylons, and he has to take these out to establish that base. And Storm onto some of the medvacs, doesn't get any though.
HuK is going to chase here with some nice storms now on those medivacs. They don't even have energy anymore. INnoVation's army, man. It's quite sad. It's very low on hit points. He's barely getting healed now, and he has a very little income right now.
Yeah, his income is quite poor, unfortunately. The command center at the 3rd base is still just floating.
Oh, this is smart. INnoVation knows that he cannot win the fight. Maybe he should have done that earlier, by the way. He's going for the base trade. And I think HuK saw it or knows about it somehow. HuK is pulling back now and he's catching up to this army of INnoVation. How does he know? He didn't have the observer there anymore.
I have no idea. Maybe he's just like, where's your army gone? He doesn't have observers above the natural or anything like that, with the 3rd base rather, so I don't really know. He's now opening units back at home, so I think maybe he's like, okay, I've done enough damage to go home, we're gonna macro.
It's happened before. And INnoVation actually hiding a base on the top left hand side with a bunch of mules. Gonna be nice for the economy here for some time, but not gonna last all too long either. Oh, INnoVation, he needs to get out of here. The stalkers are closing in. There is only 2 stalkers, but a bunch of Archons. Actually, 4 stalkers get in there and they get all the medivacs. Those units are all going to die now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't really think they've justified themselves too much. They have done some damage and kept, they brought HuK back home. This has allowed INnoVation to macro up to get these bases established for the time being and get that economy rolling again so he can start to produce some units. And another double medevac drop looks like it's going to fly all the way around the map towards that 4th base location, maybe? Yeah, it is. So he's constantly going for the aggression, which I really like. HuK is sending his out around to try and find this base.
Oh, he's gonna spot it. And this is huge. This is very important. HuK, he doesn't have much economy. Like, he's fully mining from just one base. I think he would love to take at least one more base because he has a bunch of additional probes.
No, drop the units, save the meals. There we are. He does go for it. And that was some very lucky timing there for INnoVation.
Yeah, he just dropped and killed the Zealot. But now the army of HuK is moving in position to kill this. And I think INnoVation should be aware of it. A good thing to do here would have been to counter-attack that one base of HuK. But no, he chooses to get rid of those pylons instead.
And that's a cool idea. A lot of the mules will get picked off. The command center might even fall as well as a lot of Colossus, and yes, that will get picked off.
Wow, and HuK was waiting for those medivacs on the left hand side. He knew where they were going to be dropped as well. Nice anticipation here. He had some Templars in position. He feedbacked, he stormed, and he got rid of a lot of this army. But INnoVation still has a supply lead. This is ridiculous.
And he has less workers, so that is like a 20-odd supply advantage. Okay, now it's just gone down to 14 with a big warp in. And he did lose another orbital, so he is very limited. Forced to lift this one off and relocate it to like that 5th base location. His planetary has finished up as well, so he has no he has no mining base right now, so he's got to go take this base if he wants to stay in it.
Some nice storms hit a lot of this army and medivacs, which are very important right now. INnoVation, he has a very limited amount of them. All of them actually died. INnoVation steams in there and gets rid of most of this army, the Archon and Colossus as well. INnoVation fighting Archons and Colossus with no Vikings, no Ghost, and still making it work somehow. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he has been. He's lost about an extra 6,000 resources throughout this game, but about 35 minutes. I think that is a very acceptable loss against that type of splash. It's just so hard to deal with. There's another High Templar. It does have the energy, but the storm is a little bit late. There's the blink, and of course the stalkers can stop these units escaping, picking them off very slowly. And you know the supplies are starting to drop right now. It's 90 v 52. There's another blink, a stim, and he doesn't even. Oh no, he's not even getting the stalkers there, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. He's just trying to escape with those 2 medivacs on the way. This base should be found by HuK. No, he pulls back. He won't. Every time I feel he can finish it, he's feeling a little bit shy and he pulls back. But I think this is just going to be a momentary move as HuK should go and finish this game now. Because even though he starts an additional base to make sure his extra perps can mine later on, he has a huge supply lead right now. With 60 army supply against 35 only, he's going to get a snipe on that orbital command. We have only 1 orbital command left by INnoVation, and he's just going to call GG. He knows there is too much right now. He knows that he has very little units to deal with whatever his opponent has, so that's going to be it. HuK takes the second game of this series after some really, really nice game.